Welcome back to the channel. We are not on the golf course today. We're doing something very, very exciting. We're here at ParWest Golf and we are getting fitted for a set of irons. So let's head into the guys and get our first set of irons that are actually for me. Not someone else's Craigslist irons, my own.
They just sounded.
I'm open to suggestions.
Okay.
Like, I did look at the Callaway stuff and obviously the Titleist stuff. If you think there's something that's more suited, we'll definitely explore it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Are you familiar with the different types of heads, like game improvement, players, irons, so on and so forth?
You're welcome to talk me through.
Okay. So how long have you been playing for golf?
I picked up golf about a month ago.
Okay.
So what have I played, like 8 times?
Okay.
On course,
For sure.
7 or 8 times.
And you've been using
course.
those the whole time?
I've been using these the entire time.
Okay. Those aren't too bad in terms of, like forgiveness and size-wise of like, the bottom of the sole here.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's actually not bad to start with those because then it'll transition to something of like the player iron, which would be something along the lines of, a little thinner, slight cavity back, forged head. Sometimes it's the easiest transition to go from those to this just because those aren't as forgiving as obviously something along the lines of kind of the chunky monkey there.
Yeah.
But maximum forgiveness, easier to hit essentially compared to...
Yeah, because it's a much bigger face.
Correct.
Yeah.
So sweet spot of this could be, size of a quarter, and then once you get something to this, could be size of a nickel, essentially. But we'll take a look to see...
So for our Irish people, they're quarters and nickels. That's like a 50-cent coin and a 10-cent coin.
Perfect. Hook up this Mizuno shaft optimizer. It takes bend point from the grip in all the way down to the head. It will give us a top 3 recommended shafts as well as a top 15. And then I can take those recommended shafts, mix and match with the different kinds of heads within manufacturers, and then see in section which one feels best for you.
Sweet.
It's graphite compared to the steel that you are currently playing. Before I start the sensor, and then we'll take a couple swings.
Close before anything else. Only issue I have is that I didn't get it sooner.
Right. Start the sensor. It's going to go from a blinking blue, and then it's going to go to a solid blue. Once it goes to the solid blue, we'll have 60 seconds to hit. But for 3 averages, it'll give us top recommended shots.
Oh, cool.
So we'll go ahead and hit 3, and then we can go back and redo a couple shots if we need to.
Or like get the feel.
I saw some guy put his the thoughts on his head on his driver head, printed it out, and had like a 10-step. I'm like, about 81 club head speed. Tempo toe down. I try not to look at those numbers just because they can get confusing for people. But based on the top 3 recommended is DG mid 100, about 105 gram shafts. That one is a stiff. Second recommended is a regular flex, but same weight. And then the Modus 105 regular flex. Top one is stiff, so I kind of want to start there.
Yeah, let's start with that.
And then I'll throw in some clubs with the other top recommended shafts.
And then we can see what feels best. Sweet.
And so now I'll have you give me a couple of your 7-iron shots. I'm going to go ahead and clear this here. The recommended length as well as lie angle based on your wrist to floor. Goes to the floor about knuckles about right there, 30 and a half. Standard length. So 7-iron would be about 37 inches. Lie angle 1 degree flat. Right side that might be 2 degrees flat in like the Ping, Callaway, Titleist, TaylorMade, so on and so forth. Everything that's made here. And then I think Mizuno has their own standard specs. So I'm gonna start us in the game improvement iron, so you probably see an increase in distance, probably feel as well. Go ahead and swing a couple with that one there.
Like the face of the club, it just feels, I don't know if it's a psychological thing, it just feels like there's more surface area there for me to strike the ball.
Absolutely. is the AI 300 with that same top recommended shaft there.
Cool.
It may feel slightly better than the Mizuno, just because it's a forged head. Callaway Apex AI 300.
Much better than this too.
Yeah, even didn't strike that well at all, but still carried, 104. Big difference on the distance there for sure on that too.
160 yard carry, 7-iron.
175.
175 total.
And that's
And we can work on the offlineness later.
Yeah, this is a notable difference in this
Good.
from not only the last club, but from my clubs. It's like worlds apart.
Yeah, good.
For sure. I mean,
Some people's
like,
driver doesn't go that far.
like when we're talking about holes like Colwood, that number 6, that trips us up every time. If we can be hitting a club like this, all of a sudden that hole really opens up dramatically. Yeah, even the misses are better.
You don't have to feel like you have to swing super hard to get that distance out of
Yeah,
it.
it just feels like it's just much more of a smoother kind of. It feels like the club is doing a lot of the work for me.
Yep, absolutely. The TaylorMade P790 with the number 3 recommended shaft. So it may not be as forgiving as the Callaway Apex 300, but it's something that you can keep in the bag for a really long time and not necessarily outgrow.
Yeah.
Especially as you're doing the series, you'll be able to perform better and better as you play more and more.
As
golf.
I get better, the club will almost improve too.
Absolutely. How did that one feel?
Yeah, I can definitely get what you mean. It's not as forgiving. It feels like I need to do a little bit more work getting the club face where I want it.
Just try to get the ball obviously closer to the center of the club face.
I mean, it's still,
better than what you're currently working with.
Yeah, it's like worlds apart from what I'm currently shooting on.
Good.
Yeah, I can definitely tell what you mean in terms of the difference between this TaylorMade and the Callaway in terms of forgiveness.
Yeah, absolutely. This would probably be the next step up from the Callaway.
Yeah.
It probably has to do with the club head making you just work a little more.
Yeah. No.
Right, yeah.
It's not going as far. I mean, significantly. It's 50 yards shorter than the Callaway. Because the Callaway,
Just a little extra forgiving.
Because it's more forgiving, it's much easier to hit that sweet spot.
Give it a little bit more pop.
Yeah, and it's popping
Hit
off the
one
club
more
face.
with that, and I'll put another TaylorMade head on that one.
And because it's a game improvement, do you think it's closer to that Callaway in terms of its forgiveness versus the last TaylorMade?
Absolutely.
Cool.
There you go.
There we go, straight down the middle-ish. Not a bad carry either.
How'd that one feel?
Yeah, it feels closer to the Callaway in terms of, it definitely feels like the club is doing, a bit of the heavy lifting for me, and I don't have to really work as much to find that sweet spot.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, even just looking down, from what I've been playing on with the really old clubs, it's
Does
like
it look thicker than what you're currently using?
Yeah, it just, the whole face of the club is just way bigger, way more open.
Yeah,
It just,
absolutely.
and that just kind of builds confidence as well in terms of knowing that I can hit this ball. And as I say that, watch me shank this. Told ya. Yeah, between this and the Callaway, I'm still getting better misses also. Even when I'm not striking it
Right.
as clean, the misses are still better. They're not veering way off, and
you don't lose a whole lot of yardage.
Yeah, you're
as
not
well.
losing the yardage.
that's a good strike.
Yeah, right about that 160, 170 total.
For 8 times playing golf,
Yeah, absolutely.
a 7-iron right in there.
Takes people years to figure that out, or a lifetime, I'd say.
Well, did you hear that? That's for the guy in the comments that told me that I would never ever amount to this challenge. He just said, this is a guy who's a professional at this, just said it could take someone years to be striking a 7-iron like this. I've been playing golf the equivalent of a week. Watch me. Watch me absolutely shank this now after me fucking blowing steam up my own ass. Oh yeah, eat it.
There you go.
That one was for the haters.
Longest one yet?
Yeah,
There you
There's
go.
a bit of venom in that for the haters.
New swing thought.
New swing thought, yeah. Just imagine like one of my trolls' faces on the ball. It's like the opposite of Happy Gilmore's happy place. Sad Gilmore. Angry Gilmore. This is the one that I've hit the longest too.
Absolutely,
For
yeah.
sure. I'm carrying that further than anything
Good.
else.
Titleist T350, so that's going to be the comparable to the TaylorMade QI. I have the same weight as the Tour 105. I don't have the KBS seat taper light. This is equivalent to that there.
Cool.
About 105, 103 gram shaft. That there.
So far, this feels the best.
Good.
In terms of like the weight as I'm coming through, controlling the club face. This one so far is feeling, I think that's reflecting it.
Yeah, and your furthest one with this one was still halfway compared to some of the other ones that tailed off a
Yeah.
little further right. Might be done here.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have to worry about the distance now. We just have to work on direction.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
And
I'm
you've mishit it the least with all the
true.
other.
Yeah, that's actually
clubs.
a very good point. I think I've actually kind of mishit it once-ish, and it's still carried about 150
Not super far
yards.
offline, not super short in distance.
Yeah, the clubs. This has been the most online too.
Correct.
Look how pretty that is.
Furthest one was about 20 yards right compared to some of the other ones that were like 40, so on and so forth. ABS Tour Light. Oh, that is actually our fourth option.
fourth
Now that's in the regular flex. I could put in the stiff if you'd like. That's kind of what the Mizuno Shaft Optimizer.
Will we try it?
Yeah.
Why, no harm.
Let's say as your swing gets built better and better, you'll be able to swing the club head a lot easier. So the stiffer the shaft, the slightly tighter dispersion as well. You guys are athletes and they can improve drastically in a short amount of time. So we don't want you to have to necessarily outgrow a set of clubs within your first year, essentially.
Did you hear that? I'm an athlete. He says that himself.
People struggle with their 4, 5, 6 iron. It'll be the lightest out of the bag, so it'll help you swing it just a little easier. But that's the mid-trajectory shaft, which is kind of what all these other ones were recommending as well.
Cool. And it's stiffer than the last one we.
Correct.
Cool.
One
that.
less thing to worry about.
Yeah, that was a miss hit. That was definitely closer to the heel.
But that's
Still probably about 5 yards less, but
and not very far offline.
yeah. Left of the line.
So if I'm going to go for a more forgiving head, which probably seems likely how well I'm striking this one, this is probably the head we'll go with.
Yeah.
The stiffer shaft means I won't outgrow the heads as quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think this is the one. This combination is definitely.
Nice high cut.
And it's not like you're swinging faster to
No.
try to get the benefits out of it. You're still
Yeah.
taking the same tempo. It touched chunky,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
still right within the same grouping.
Ran out to similar yardage.
I'm probably missing this better than I'm hitting my right, like the current clubs.
Yeah.
When I'm striking them really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
These misses are better than what those are.
Yeah, good.
So it really will show the difference, when you're, getting a shaft and head combination, the right length.
Absolutely, the right lie angle.
Yeah, and it really does make a huge difference. Like again, that's another miss hit.
And let's say that was the worst one, and that was still not as bad as some of the other ones.
Yeah. It's a really,
Feels good combo.
really good combo.
little line right here at the end of the palm, just at the end of the sheet.
Right about there?
Yep. So you kind of passed the standard there. Now,
Above average hands.
we'll kind of go, you would want to make sure that, you know, your fingertips lightly touch. You don't want
You don't want them squeezing.
digging in, and you don't want a little gap there.
Yeah.
So that's a standard size. I'll grab that there from you. And then a lot of it's personal preference on feel, because there's a corded, there's firm grips, softer grips.
Corded grips, you'll burn through gloves quicker.
Correct. Or let's say if you have sweaty hands, cord grips probably are slightly better. I like to get the tiger grips just so that they can pretend that they are him. The Tour Velvet cord.
I mean, it feels nice.
Yeah,
In fairness,
it's a really good one.
In fairness, it does feel good. It's nice and soft.
Especially if you want to play in the winter time here, you know, or if you go back home and play in Ireland, it's a little wet out there sometimes.
Yeah, but now what you said about the Tiger fanboys.
Yeah. People come here, do you have the tiger grips? I go, they're called Golf Bride Tour Velvets.
And they're definitely...
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's even if I squeeze, it's not really...
Yeah,
It's not
and
really
it's the same
pressing.
size that's on this one here.
Cool.
So being able to work the club face a lot easier than obviously something that may be bigger and have a harder time rotating through.
Yeah.
So all the standard grips are going to be in the green tags here, and they kind of wrap around. You know, that's very popular grip there. They make it in a wrap style. So just to add a little texture.
I like the Z chords.
Yep, I play the Z chords.
Yeah,
But to your point, I do go through a couple
lot
of
of
gloves
gloves.
a lot easier. Yeah, I would just touch and feel, kind of see how they feel in your hands. And some people like the tacky kind of wrap style.
Yeah, more kind of sticky.
Yep. While you're looking at grips, I'm going to go start writing up some paperwork here for you.
Sweet, man. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Those Z chords are kind of my go-to. One of the left back.
These go this way?
Yeah. You will burn through gloves a little bit more, but
So, here in ParWest, we have just finished getting fitted for our clubs. We're just going to regrip them. So we went with the stiffer shaft, and we've gone with the Titleist T350 heads. So they're a little bit forgiving, but with the stiffer shaft, I should be able to grow with this club quite a bit. But yeah, in terms of dispersion, even my miss hits are better. It's honestly worlds apart from what I've been striking with the Craigslist clubs, so to speak. So now we just have to put them to practice on the course and see how much of a difference they really do make.
This beat goes stupid.